Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to open up and disassemble this HP laptop model 15t-dy100. Alright, so we're going to be using a J1 or JS1 screwdriver, and there are screws hidden underneath these rubber feet, so let's go ahead and take a look. Let's go ahead and get underneath here. Okay, so we're going to peel this up. The customer said that some liquid got on it, and they said it's most likely cat urine, which it did have some smell, so most likely they're right. All right, we're going to remove both rubber feet first. Okay, so we're going to get underneath. As you can see, I can just peel it up with my fingernail. This one, oh, okay, so this one, the little plastic piece is still kind of caught there. So I'm going to use a small flathead screwdriver to try and get underneath to lift it up if we can. Okay, we're going to push down a little bit on this to pull it back and form a gap, and then we can hopefully get in there. So I'm going to pull this back a bit more. All right, this is kind of being a pain. All right, there we go. And then we're going to peel up using that, because you want to peel the hard plastic layer, not the rubber, because if you peel the rubber, there's a good chance it's going to stretch out and it's not going to fit back properly. So we're pulling on the hard plastic layer. All right, then you can stick the rubber back down on top. All right, we're going to set that aside. All right, let's go ahead now and again continue removing all the screws using the J1 or JS1 screwdriver. You want to keep them in order because they can be different size, shape, and lengths. The way I do that is I put them flat side down like that on my desk in the pattern I remove them. If you have a tray or something that can hold it better, like a magnet strip or something, some people use tape or putty or whatever, just do whatever works for you. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and pop this out. All right, if this video helps you out, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. If you can't help out that way, it would help a lot if you could watch a few of my other videos and then like and comment on those as well, because that's what the algorithm likes to see. But other than that, let's go ahead and continue popping this open. So we got all the screws out. You can see there's this design where the silver part meets the palm rest. So what I'm going to do is I get my fingernail in that gap between there, and I push with my thumbs on the back, and you can see we can go ahead and pop that out. So basically I'm just rotating my hand like this. Okay, so we're going to go around the sides as well. Same thing, just like this. And hopefully at least the SSD survived. The customer was saying they hope that the computer can be saved, but I don't know. If the cat peed on it, and we're probably going to have some trouble here. But let's see. Okay, so it looks like there's probably some clips in the middle as well. So we're going to pull up here. I'm going to use my thumb over here. We're going to work our way to the back, and we're going to kind of, now that we got that, wiggle this side to side as I kind of pull, and you can see it pops up pretty easily. So there we go. There's the bottom cover. Ugh. Okay, so we can see there's some really gross stuff here. We're going to pop the whole entire thing apart. You can see this looks pretty gross in there. So we're going to have to see about cleaning that. Okay, and then let's see. Let's go ahead and pull the battery out. The customer said it's not turning on at all. So it's very important. You want to get the battery out. Okay. They told me that the screen was closed and there was liquid on top, so yeah, we'll see, but hopefully it didn't go into the screen cable and everything. Okay, so the battery has 3 screws up here, and then it has 2 screws down here. Okay. Alright, get those out. And then we'll pop this up so I get with my fingernail here and pull this up. If you're wondering, the battery model number is right there, HT03XL. All right. There's also an HP spare part number here, L111119-855. Did I read that right? Sorry, there's only 4 ones. L11119-855. All right. So battery looks okay. We're going to set that aside. All right, hopefully the keyboard and stuff didn't get screwed up. The SSD itself looks to be okay. I probably should have got a thumbnail, but I guess we'll do that later. All right, we're going to take this screw out from the SSD. After you remove that screw, you can actually lift the SSD slightly up, and then you can kind of wiggle and pull it back. All right, so there you go. It comes out like that. So SSD itself doesn't have any damage on it physically. Hopefully there's no damage from like it being shut off or something with the liquid damage. So I'm just brushing this to clean it a little bit. Oh my. Okay, so there's actually, you can see liquid in there. That's gross. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can clean that stuff off. That's disgusting. That means I probably have cat pee on my hands now. Yep, I have. That's gross. Okay, we're gonna try and wipe this stuff up, and oh, this is gross. Okay, I don't think it's gonna be salvageable. Yeah, no, that's definitely not salvageable. I'm not even gonna try. You see that? See how burnt that is? Yeah, I'm not gonna remove that, especially with getting cat pee on everything. All right, I'm gonna pull these two tabs to the side so you can see the RAM. And this is PC4 2666V. All right, so that's the RAM. You can put any PC4 2666V RAM you want, and you should be good. All right, it goes back in at an angle, and then you go ahead and click this down. Okay, keyboard is held in with melted plastic, as you can see under here. So we're not gonna, if you're gonna replace the keyboard, you would want to actually replace the whole palm rest assembly. It has this flip latch, and then you can go ahead and lift up and pull this cable out, but I'm gonna leave that in there. You got the touchpad, trackpad cable here, and that goes over here. You got the SD card slot with the headphone jack connector there, and you got the, this looks like LCD LVDS connector. If you're gonna mess with this, make sure after disconnecting the battery that you open the laptop and press and hold the power button for at least 15 seconds before messing with this. Fan connectors here. The way this comes out is you get underneath, and you want to be very careful. There's actually two parts. There's the part that's attached to the motherboard, and then there's the fan connector itself. Make sure you're just lifting up the fan connector, and then you can actually, come on, want to gently pop that, and there you go. So you can see that came out there, and to get it back in, you just push that back down on top. Again, you want to be very careful that you don't pry up the connector that's on the board itself, but line it up, and then you can click that back down. All right, so there you go. CPU soldered to the motherboard, so you can't just remove that. There's wireless card here with just one antenna. To remove that, you go from the tail and pull that up. Speaker has the same connector as the fan right there, and I believe that connects both speakers, so the speaker connects there, and then there's a wire going along underneath to this. You can see it connects right there, that white and, or that gray and black one right there. All right, and then the two USB ports here with this cable connecting to the motherboard there. There's another little cable going underneath here, and that is for the DC jack charge port connector, which the style is basically like the, oh, actually, you don't have another one, so let me pull that out so you can see. I flipped that latch. I'm going to pull this cable, and here you can see the connector. This, you grab the wings, and you kind of just wiggle to pull that out. I'm going to leave that as is, though. All right, I do have other videos where I replace the charge ports on them, and you can kind of see how those connectors work. But to remove that, the wire goes along, goes around, and then it swirls over here. You do have to remove these screws, lift the hinge up. If you can't pull the hinge up after removing the screws, it helps to open the laptop slightly, undo the screws, and then close it, so that way the hinge is slightly up. Then you can get your finger under there and wedge it upwards. All right, after that, you can actually just pull this thing up. It might have like the two edges here somewhat held in like a clip, and then you can pop that out. But yeah, all right, and I think that's pretty much all there is to look at in here. This thing is burnt so bad that it's not even going to be worth working on. You'd have to replace the entire logic board, and I don't know if the keyboard's also fried, but yeah, with cat pee in there, and then also this board's messed up. Not gonna be worth it. All right, so let's go ahead and get this thing back together. Sadly, yeah, we're actually gonna leave the SSD out because the customer does want their data. So let's go ahead and put this screw right here, the SSD screw back in. Okay, and I'll probably have to show them some pictures of that later. So let me actually get a close-up view, and I'll show them how burnt that looks. and then you got that guy, and that screw's all rusted as well. Look at that. Okay, anyways, yeah, let's get this thing back together. We'll get the battery back in, line it up, and push it down. Okay, and then we'll get all of this back in. Also, it looks like on some models they have like a hard drive here, and there's a little area where you can plug it in on the motherboard here. At least I think this is what that's for. But yeah, I don't know. There's not really much space here, but it looks like it would, at least on some models, fit another hard drive right there. Okay, so yeah, I can actually test fit. See, it has a gap that can fit this, and then you need a special bracket, but I don't know, it's kind of thick, so maybe if you have a really thin drive, but again, I don't know if they have the cable for that model. Alright, so we'll get the battery screws back in, we'll get the bottom cover back on. I don't want to mess around too much with that P, so let's go ahead and get this thing back on. And I'm going to have to wash my hands, but get that all clicked back in. Alright, work our way around. Okay, and yep, make sure everything's clipped. Oh yeah, also they had this one big crack there, so yeah, sadly not worth repairing. Alright, we'll get all these screws back in, get the little rubber feet back in, and that's pretty much it. Again, hopefully this video helped you guys out, at least to show you how you can upgrade the SSD or replace other components. But yeah, again, like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Again, if you can't help out that way, it would help a lot if you could watch a few of my other videos and then like and comment on those as well, because that's what the algorithm likes to see. And yeah. Alright, also it helps a lot if you can watch through like at least a few minutes of the video, because if you just click it and then close it and like it, I think YouTube kind of sees it as you're not actually watching the content and you're just leaving fake likes kind of thing. So if you do that, probably might be better not to. I don't know how YouTube calculates that. But yeah, let's get all of these rubber feet back on. As you saw, I'll get like one edge in first, okay? And then I'll try and get the other edge in. That way if there's any stretching going on, you can kind of push it in towards the center, it'll bow up, and then you can go down and then spread it back out. So that way all the stretching forces like spread out evenly. Alright, and that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Let's drop this. Bye.